Well, welcome to the Max.
Livie has made her arrival.
Shh, don't tell them yet. They will cut it off.
So we had to kind of run to the bedroom and escape all the kids. We wanted to share with y'all. We know we kind of left y'all hanging in the last video. We totally get that. So to recap what was going on, because we didn't have a whole lot of time to talk about it, y'all saw me making the dessert. We were getting ready for Christmas the next afternoon. Y'all had seen me go to the doctor early that morning. And that afternoon, I told Colby, I think I'm leaking amniotic fluid. But at that point in time, we didn't know for sure because I was not having any contractions. I mean, it was like, I had been, y'all heard me talk Tuesday about how I really thought Tuesday was going to be the day. The week progressed, went to the doctor, she checked me. I had made a lot of progress. And then that night, I thought, well, it's going to be time. So Colby started running out, preparing. Y'all saw that in the video. But like I said, my labor had really, like the contractions just stopped. So I told him, well, we're not going to go to the hospital until we know for sure. So really, I went ahead and got ready for bed. We went to bed. The whole next day had passed. We got up. We started our normal routine. We did school. We did chores. We did everything we needed to do. And then I gave Colby a phone call because I was vacuuming. And in the in-between, there was no leaking of fluid. So I wanted to put that out there. There was no leaking of fluid. I didn't have any other incidences. But we were going to have a company that night. We told her that we were getting ready for the Christmas. And as I was vacuuming, I had 2 more incidences in that time where I thought I might be leaking fluid. So that's when I called Colby and said, we need to go to the hospital. I need to know for sure. Because it started at 8 o'clock that afternoon, the day before, and this was 3 o'clock the next day. And I'm calling Colby saying, I think we need to go. We need to have this checked out. This is not normal for me. I don't typically do this, and we need to know for sure.
So I decided, I said, okay. I said, give me about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm going to wrap up everything at work, and I'll fly home, and we'll discuss it, kind of get everything wrapped up, kind of talk to Aiden, make sure he's got everything going on. Because at this point, let me kind of give you a little breakdown of where we're at during this time. We have our babysitters who we depend on, which are family,
are out of state.
So then our backups, a lot of our backups, some of those were out of town hunting. Some of the other ones were not in the area because this was something so unplanned. They were thinking this was 10 days, and we were thinking 10 days still left. So we were coming into a bad situation thinking, okay, Aiden, you've got to watch your siblings until we have our relief babysitter coming.
Yes. So Colby gets home and Aiden gets locked in the barn. So I'm scrambling, trying to get bags together and in the car just in case.
Okay, to add to some humor as we get ready to take Miss Mac to the hospital just to make sure she's okay, of course. Just something we've never expected. You know, again, we have 5 kids already, so this is a little new to us on what's happening. So what's funny though of the whole situation, and this is how God always makes humor. So we worked all night, as you saw, moving animals and things like that, the ducks right here, and then the lambs over there. Well, anyways, I told you we were building this shed and closing up this part of the barn because Miss Mac said she wants her carport back. So anyways, Aiden called me kind of freaking out. He's like, hey Daddy, I need you to come over to the barn, hurry. Well, I have my truck's over here and the tractor's over here, and you know, I was like, well, you know, he must have hit something in the Ranger or must be something wrong. I said, what's wrong? He said, you know, those that new barn we got built and the new doors that they put on, your friends put on. He said, I'm stuck in here and I can't get out. So we're gonna go see him stuck in this barn that he can't get out. How did
Once Colby gets him out, we get loaded up in the car. We start making our way to the hospital. And at this time, I began to get really upset because I know what I'm about to be facing. One or two things. One is it is not amniotic fluid and I get to go home. And the other one is it is. And now I'm down to a very few hours with being, because at this point in time, it's 4 o'clock now. And about 4.5 hours before I meet that quote 24-hour.
You okay? Well, we just prayed and know that it's going to be okay. And we're going to go just to make sure, go in the hospital and just let them just check and see what our next step needs to be. And we'll kind of go from there.
So I was in a little bit of a panic. I was very upset because guys know that I had certain wishes and stuff set up for my birth plan. I shared that with y'all some. So at this point in time, I'm very upset as we make our way to the hospital.
All right, so we're here. What you thinking?
Just waiting.
Just waiting. I'm trying to make light of the situation because I know it's bad, I know it's stressful, but at the same time, this can be a joyous occasion. But like Misty said, she had different hopes. We were hoping for a JJ situation where she was just going to miraculously have a water-breaking experience. We run to the hospital, have this baby in 5 minutes.
Yeah, and that's totally not what happened. So we were kind of thrown a curveball. So we get to the hospital, we get checked in. I did not want to wait in the emergency room. Waiting room, so we decided to step outside and wait for the nurses to come down and get me.
Just waiting.
I feel gross though.
Hospitals always make me feel gross. Huh?
I know, I don't like it. This is not the way I envision things.
Hey, but it might be good. You might just be changed and not even know it. That's every mother's dream.
We'll see.
When I get up to the room, we get changed and kind of get settled, talk to the nurses some. And the test is done. So at this point, I'm just kind of pacing in the room.
Okay, so little update.
I've had an emotional breakdown.
Something about these rooms just, it's an emotional breakdown for Misty. So we're in the room. We're just getting checked. This is not like inpatient stuff. This is more outpatient.
It's outpatient for right now.
Just protocol, just checking.
And they've done the test, so hopefully we can find out sooner than later. But she's kind of like me. We both feel like it's probably the fluid. I've contracted more here than I have all day.
I have been crying. I have been pretty upset because, like I said, this is not what we anticipated. And we're just waiting on the test results. While we're waiting, my contractions start picking up some. But nothing intense, nothing regular, but I had actually started having contractions.
But my concern is if I am leaking the fluid, then what are we going to do? Because this is not what we had in store. This was not planned. So I've been upset about that.
And as I told her, we can't plan things, and we're going to work through it, and it's going to be okay. She is still pretty though. There's that smile.
So we sent out a few messages to our friends and got some people to start praying because I knew I had a very, very short window and a miracle had to happen in order for this ideal of a birth plan that I want to take place.
And see, the stress of the whole situation is the doctor was phenomenal. The staff was phenomenal. We're not talking about that, but we know that if we get to that 8 o'clock time or that 24-hour period and Misty hadn't progressed, are we going to induce? Are we going to have a doctor do more innovative or conventional style methods? Then that's not what we wanted. My wife, she's not even hooked up to an IV. She didn't want to be hooked up to an IV. She didn't want any of that. So this is at this point, she's in that catch-22 where she's saying, okay, we want to have this baby, but we want to have it the way that God intended and what we were hoping for.
Right. So I did have IV access. I had what's called a help lock where they just put the catheter in your arm. And I agreed to that. I was fine with that. But the other, like Colby mentioned, with the induction of Pitocin, I knew I was coming to such a very short window frame that's what was causing me to be so upset.
Window frame or time frame?
Time frame.
All right, you wanted to move a little bit. I want to see you do break a move, bust a move. Come on, I want to see you dance. I'll give you some music.
I'm ready to go home.
I'm seeing that you. So we're doing the walk around the room, huh?
So at this point in time, I know I'm down to very short few hours, at least to get labor kicked off. So we had spoke with the doctor, and he seemed to think, well, this was not my doctor. This was the doctor that was on call. And he said, you may have been about a 4 to her. You're closer to a 3 to me. You're still real thick. Baby's still real high. So at this point, I was just an emotional nutcase. So I had read in a book, one of my natural birthing books, about how to stimulate contractions. And at this point in time, I told Colby, what's it going to hurt? What is it going to hurt for us to try it? So I did. In between prayer, God's blessing, and what I had read in the book about natural stimulation of contractions, it worked for me, y'all. Literally within less than 5 minutes, I had been contracting a little bit more, like I said when we got there, maybe from the stress and being upset. But then when I started with the natural stimulation, it was within minutes. I could not stand up anymore. And so I had sat down. I felt a pop. I had some more fluid come. So I knew at this point in time I was well on my way to being in active labor, and I was within minutes.
So how you feeling?
A rough past few minutes.
And you can see we're using, what are these called? I hear this big blown up thing.
They're called peanut ball.
Peanut ball. So what has the doctor said now? Is he coming back, or what's the plan?
He's supposed to be coming back at 8. I'm just hoping that she'll come on and drop and we can have her soon. I'm trying to relax through these, but it's very difficult.
You're a champ. You're doing great. Now, at this time, the doctor walks back in. He's thinking, I'm completely surprised. I've never seen someone move so quick I really thought this would have never taken place this quick.
So active labor kicked off really fast.
She is complete and she's ready. So they're going to get the doctor in. She's been a champ through it all. She's done really good. Really good.
And I was able to lay down, get a dim room, breathe through the contractions, try to relax, which is what I had learned from Dr. Bradley's book. And from 6:50 to about 8 o'clock, I was complete.
And it got real. Do you want to say anything? Or do you not want to say nothing?
Just ready for her to be here.
Ready for her to be here. So as Misty is preparing to have this baby, we have a farm and we have children other than this one. So I called, my sister. I had one sister out of all my siblings in town. I said, look, I'm in a bind. I need you to get to the house and be with the kids. But also, one more thing. Aiden's got to milk in the morning. And we're talking, she lives about 20 minutes away. She was like, no, we've got it. Don't worry about it. You just have this baby. So that was a blessing, because here we are sitting with our typical babysitters, our typical help milkers, which is my family, my parents, who helped us last time, and y'all saw videos of with Aiden milking. And at this point I'm calling Aiden saying, okay, you're gonna have to milk. You've got to make it work. I have no choice. There's nobody else. It's all you, and your aunt is gonna come help you. So
and they did it, and they did
great.
great.
They did phenomenal. And here's some pictures of that too.
One of the things that I was very thankful for was the doctor that was on call was very patient. He did come back and he was extremely surprised that I had progressed so quickly, and we did notice that her head was not in the right position. That was kind of a Jennings situation again, but he was able to work with me, move me around. He was able to rotate her head a little bit, which helped. And it was not very long, and she was born.
3,
There you go.
4.
There you go. Almost there.
Almost
This
there.
time, this kid, he'll be out.
Push,
He'll be
push,
over
push,
with now.
push, 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 push.
There
There you
you
go.
go.
Head's
There you
coming,
go.
head's coming out. Relax for a second. Relax. And then. Good job. There she is. There she is. Happy birthday. What are you looking for?
All right, let's come over here and see Mama and Dad. It is a girl.
A little bit. Can't come up any further, baby, just because her cord.
Bam, just like that. She's here. So you see, they did a phenomenal job. And so while we're having this child and the blessing of everything falling into place when we thought it was not in place, it shows how amazing everything just went right where it's supposed to go, like the puzzles fit.
Yep, it really shows how amazing God is, because I was so upset. I did not think I was going to be able to have a regular natural birth. We got there and I thought for sure my body's not going to do this. I'm going to have the Pitocin. I'm now in a time frame, and it was just really God's blessing that He come through and I was able to do everything with. I had never got any fluids, no medications, no epidurals. I had the most picture perfect. Well, I wouldn't say that it was pain free, but it was the
natural.
It was the idea of what I wanted. It just didn't start unfolding like I thought it was going to, but it ended absolutely beautifully, and we absolutely could not end the video without saying that, we were given a precious, beautiful child the week before Christmas. And we
Awesome
can't
is that?
let the video go without saying, it reminds us of Mary and Joseph and what they had, the same beautiful experience so many years ago, bringing our Savior into this world. And, what a special time to have a baby when we're also remembering the birth of our Savior.
So it's been really cool to see our kids just fall in love with new baby Livie. They're all just wanting to hold him. I don't even know if I've got to hold the child.
He's been on early morning duty to let me rest because I've been on night duty.
But the kids have just fell in love with a new family member, and like Misty said, there's no better time to have this child. When we thought we didn't want to spend Christmas in the hospital, we didn't, but we're able to spend Christmas at home with our new gift.
He's 7'8".
7, 8, Aiden was close. He said 7, 7.
So you see this beautiful little girl, and we are glad that she is part of the family, healthy, and we are blessed.
Very blessed.
So first of all, God bless you,
And Merry Christmas.
and happy homesteading, y'all.